Hello everyone, I'm Witchick and welcome to my channel. In today's video, like the title says, I'm going to be redrawing the first picture I posted on Tumblr, which is this one. I made this for Funguary last year on the same day, so I guess it's kind of like an anniversary to my first post on Tumblr. I'm not going to be joining Funguary this year, but I thought it would be fun to redraw the first post I made on Tumblr, which happened to be a Funguary post. She has an elegant blue webcap. That's what I was inspired by to make her because that was one of the options on the Funguary list last year. Because I made this last year, which is obvious because that's what it says in my thumbnail. So yeah, if you can't tell, which you probably can, this was done in traditionally because when I started posting art on Tumblr and everything, I would only draw traditional art and everything. I got more into digital art later on. Also, you ever read the description on the post I made above this on Tumblr? It says that I usually don't color my traditional art, which is true because I always had this worry that I would ruin my drawing because once you color it, you can't actually fix it. I know before my sisters always tell me you can always draw little sample drawings of it and sample the colors, but I always thought, I'll still ruin my drawing if I colored it and maybe messed it up and it would ruin my drawing. That's one thing I like about digital art is that I can mess around with different colors and all that stuff with little to no worry about what I would call ruining my drawing. So in this redraw, I am going to be drawing in digital art because that's what I'm more comfortable with. I do actually draw it traditionally. I draw the picture traditionally, but then I transfer it onto IBIS Paint X and I ink it all. I did a line art and everything there, and then I do the coloring everything on digital. So that's how I actually normally do my art nowadays. So I still do it traditionally. Also, I decided to change her pose up a bit. I kept the full body because that is what she's doing in the original, but I did want to change her pose a bit. This may not be the best picture to show how much my art has improved, but you can see some details, obviously, in the original drawing, her jawline was obviously different, and her face. But this was drawn in the beginning more of the year because it was drawn in February last year. And later on in that year of last year, I would do a lot of practicing art and drawing. And I was doing a lot of studying about autonomy, face drawing, and all sorts of other things about coloring and all that stuff, and a lot of digital artwork learning. And I have seen my art has improved greatly. Sorry. Mara has improved greatly from what it was last year, and I'm really happy with how my art has improved. Also, in the original drawing, you see she has I do realize now she did have white on the bottom for hair, and I forgot to do that part, but I just didn't add that in the new version. Oops. But also, I know she has the white streak kind of in her hair on the top part and the bangs. I think originally when I did, I think that was supposed to be for the shine of the reflection of the light shine. So I didn't add it in the new one. I have been watching a lot of Wayne Canvas lately, and I find their videos pretty helpful. I was watching one of their videos and I'm trying out on this drawing. I decided because I wanted to try out the shading technique one of the artists on Wayne Canvas was teaching, which I know you can't actually see what I did to achieve the lighting and everything, but I am going to explain how I got the shading a bit because I might reference pop up picture of the video that I was watching, but pretty much from what I seen of what the shading technique I was learned from her and that I used, which essentially was get a layer, put on multiply, use the opposite color that you used. So the base color, she has lots of blues in it. So if I had blue, you use the opposite color, which I think it was red probably. And you kind of go in the more darker area of that red, and you would use that for the shadow, which ends up looking like this. Doesn't look red because when you put multiply, it changed it to like this, which does make it a very, I guess, intense color. The type of shading I originally used to do all the time. Well, from what originally I just used like, you make it go black, which people say, don't ever use black for shading. But that's what I used to do, just kind of make it darker. Not really black, but make it darker tone. But then the second one I learned was pretty much you kind of just use that color, but kind of like move it down a color wheel a bit and kind of make it a little darker, and use that as a shadow. Like that. I'm not sure if I explained it well enough or anything, but that's what I used to do. But then I was trying this one, which I actually really liked how it turned out. Because I know in like the cell shading video, when I was trying cell shading a few times ago in my other video, that was pretty much using like the black and like a yellow white, which I know that's probably not officially like how you actually do cell shading, but that was just this man's technique. And I was kind of just copying his technique because I was trying it out and I made it into a video. And I remember saying when I tried that way that I thought it was a little washed out, which I'm not sure if I said it or not, but I meant kind of dollish, which I remember him saying something about that his own art. But I actually really like this style of shading because it makes it kind of pop and be more vibrant, which I actually really like. Because this is the finished picture. So I really like this one. Also, wow, I can tell the difference between my old drawing and my new drawing. Obviously, there are also two different mediums. One is traditional and the other one is digital. But like just the way it was drawn, I can tell it's just my technique to me has improved greatly. And I really actually am satisfied and happy with how I improve. Because sometimes I struggle with this because sometimes you compare yourself to others, unfortunately, and you get sometimes sad or jealous, unfortunately, because of how much better they are than you. But it's not the best way to go about things. It just leaves you, sad and not very happy. But when you go back and look at your old art and then you look how much your new art has changed and improvement, it makes you actually feel better and you're just like, wow, look how much I improved. And it's like a great thing. So like yeah, I'm so happy actually with how it's turned out. Honestly, I have actually been studying and learning a lot through later on last year. And I know like I don't know how to explain some things somehow. So, sorry, not somehow, I mean sometimes. But like the face structure and how it looks, to me, it just looks much better and more clean or refined than how I used to draw. And I'm just really happy with the progress I've been making. And if you liked the video, please leave a like or comment. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And have a good night or day wherever you are. Bye!